You've spent months creating the artwork, getting each one absolutely perfect. You've built up a small following on social media, you're super excited because launch day is finally here, your NFT collection goes up for sale, and no one buys. It's absolutely crushing, but unfortunately, that's the fate of almost 90% of NFT projects. Despite all the hype, very few actually sell out on launch day. The good news is that selling out an NFT project might not be as hard as you think when you begin to understand that it's not just about the artwork, but it's mainly about two things: the marketing and the utility. So I'm going to go out how you can sell out an NFT collection without having tens of thousands of followers on social media, because let's face it, most of us don't, right? Creating an NFT is as simple as making a piece of digital content, so an image of some kind, and then going to a platform such as OpenSea and uploading it. That's literally it. Pretty much anyone can do it. So what you've got to do is, just like any business really, is to do something slightly different to set yourself apart. Utility. The market is more competitive now than it was a year ago, so you really need to be adding some kind of additional utility to your NFT project. A textbook example of this is VeeFriends by Gary Vaynerchuk. So Gary Vaynerchuk launched VeeFriends in May 2021, consisting of 10,255 NFTs. And those NFTs, although originally minting for mostly under 1 ETH, now have a floor price of 12 ETH. One of the reasons why their value has skyrocketed in such a short amount of time is because owners of these NFTs get a 3-year access pass to VCon, which is a multi-day event focused around business and entrepreneurship. So rarer NFTs in the collection are currently selling for over $100,000 each, because they unlock additional benefits such as dinner with Gary Vaynerchuk, lifetime backstage access to all of his live conferences, or even playing tennis with him. So you can see here that Gary's NFT collection is essentially like a private membership club, right? Where even though it's a digital token, it gives private access to events in the physical world. And other ideas to add utility to your collection include being able to use your NFT in the metaverse, maybe as an avatar or an item of clothing, huge discounts on your own products or services. If you're a coach or a teacher, free one-on-one mentoring, access to a newsletter, and the most common utility right now, access to private communities on Discord. Which brings us nicely onto our second point: community. One of the most important factors when it comes to selling NFTs is community building. You might not have a social media following right now, but you should absolutely start. And this could mean just finding 10 or 20 people, the people that like your work the most, that want to connect with you every day. You really need to put the work in. You can have the best artwork in the world, literally the best artwork in the world, and have it up for sale on OpenSea, but if no one knows about it, it's just not going to sell. I was listening to an episode of Ask Gary V earlier today, and there was an interesting conversation about a lot of NFT artists that are just not putting in the work.
They were in here for a month and are like, Eric, I'm not getting any sales. And I'm like, first, let's think about, what are you doing? Well, I'm just posting links on Twitter. Like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Yeah.
That's like waking up in the morning. If you're an artist, 100%. Posting a link of your art to an OpenSea account or whatever, that is literally like saying, I've woken up this morning. Yeah. Cool. Now what?
100%.
NFTs, in my opinion, are here to stay. And I think too many people are seeing NFTs as kind of a cash grab and thinking way too short term. So if you don't have an online following now, then that's okay, but you absolutely should start growing one now, whether it's on Discord or Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or whatever it is, because by starting now, you're going to be in a much stronger position in 1 year's time, 2 years' time, 5 years' time, when you actually do have 10,000 people in your community. Online community is so important, because if you're planning on selling a project with 10,000 NFTs, then you should have at least 10,000 people in your community, right? And then there's a fairly good chance that your project will sell out. If you only have 3,000 people in your community, but you have 10,000 NFTs to sell, then you're probably not going to sell out. Then you need even more people to drive up demand. So if your mint price is, I don't know, let's say 0.03 ETH, then first you'll need about 10,000 people in your community to buy them all, although of course not all those 10,000 people are going to buy. On the other hand, some of them might buy several, right? And once they're all sold, you need to keep increasing utility and value by being active on social media, providing updates, working on building out the rewards of the NFT project, and essentially treating it like a fully functioning business, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. And if you manage to do this successfully, then you'll see the price of your NFT collection skyrocket. Most popular NFT collections have thousands of items in their collection. The Bored Ape Yacht Club, Cool Cats, and CryptoPunks all have more than 9,000 items in their collection. And this is because it's a lot easier building a strong and active community with 9,000 plus members, right, than it is trying to build an active community of, let's say, 10 people. And right now in 2022, a community is one of the main measures of utility for most NFT collections. But not only that, it also means you can sell in volume. You can earn a lot more selling 10,000 NFTs for $5 than you can selling 10 NFTs for $1,000. It's a lot easier selling something for $5 than it is selling something for $1,000 right now. Obviously, it would take a long time to manually create 10,000 individual pieces of art. So many creators use artificial intelligence software such as Night Cafe and Sketch.ai, and they have a bulk create option that helps create hundreds of art pieces within just minutes. And all this artwork is code free, so it's perfect for beginners. Now that we have utility and community out of the way, the third massive mistake creators make is with their marketing. So you need to advertise your NFT launch. Just uploading your collection to OpenSea just isn't enough. Now, there are some pretty simple ways that you can use to get your word out there that you're launching a collection. Firstly, actually uploading genuinely valuable content on social media that has nothing to do with your NFT. At the end of the day, you need to provide value first before you start asking anyone to buy, right? Even if this means posting 10 tweets a day, utilizing hashtags, replying to everyone, participating in Twitter chats, literally spending 8 hours a day engaging and growing your community on Twitter, it could absolutely be worth it. Your Twitter account will also come in handy when it comes to uploading your collection to OpenSea. So social proof is among the criteria that OpenSea and other marketplaces use to approve content creators. OpenSea specifically requires that you include the number of social media channels you actively manage and share your NFT collection to the public at least once. So 2 weeks before your collection goes live, you can reveal some new artwork each day to build up the hype. Giveaways are also a good strategy to use. Do not wait for the launch date before you release the link on OpenSea. Have it visible so people can browse and set up notifications for when they go for sale. That way, you're essentially building up a waitlist. Your story. Good marketing often starts with a story. The question you need to answer with your story is, why should people buy your NFTs? Like, there's so many out there, why should they buy yours? Successful NFT projects have these questions clearly answered before anything else. So for example, Bored Ape Yacht Club isn't just 10,000 images of different apes, right? It was launched with a narrative. The apes exist in the future where early crypto investors, wealthy beyond belief, gather at a yacht club with like-minded apes. The project had a roadmap which detailed its future and what it would give back to early buyers. It has a professional website, a fun and light-hearted brand voice, and was committed from the outset to creating benefits for an exclusive community. They created a world that people could only join by buying their NFTs. Build trust. People are naturally concerned about rug pulls when buying into an NFT project. So a rug pull is essentially when the developers siphon off the project's money and abandon the project. And one common theme with rug pulls is those projects often tend to have founders that are anonymous, and they have poorly put together websites also. So buyers need to know who you are and that they can trust you. If you're hiding behind an avatar and a pseudonym with not much information about you, a poorly put together website, and no active social media or communities, then you're probably not going to attract many buyers. Another point about building trust is to have a low mint price or launch price. And by low, I mean $100 or less. The reason for that is that when a community member buys the NFT for $100, then the founder will receive that $100,000 after fees. However, if you do everything right, and let's say the NFT skyrockets to 10x its mint price, so let's say $1,000, then the initial buyer that believed in your project from the start makes the money. And what will happen there is that the money will be going to the community, but you'll also have a chance to earn a percentage through royalties. And this is usually anywhere from 3 to 15% of the value of every sale for perpetuity. Sometimes what happens is a celebrity will mint a new project at 1 Ethereum, for example, and they'll make about 1 ETH per sale, but then the project crashes and it's the community that loses the money because the creator has already made his money in the initial mint. Really, the bottom line is build a community. Be active on Discord, be active on Twitter, reply to comments, engage with people, keep them up to date, have a decent website. Remember, whatever utility and value you provide with your NFT collection is a long-term thing. The people spending money on your project believe in you. So then it's your responsibility to deliver. If you are thinking about launching an NFT collection, then I strongly recommend you buy 1 or 2 NFTs first, because you'll kind of learn so much when it comes to launching your own. And I made a video going through step by step how to buy your first NFT. You can click on the card on the screen to watch it. Alternatively, if you've not bought any NFTs yet and you don't know which to buy, I made another video on the top 5 NFT projects that could explode in 2022. Again, you can click on the card on the screen, and whichever video you choose, I'll see you over there.